What is up, you guys? You are now kicking it with P&J. I'm Jazz.
I'm P. Jazz, what you doing?
I'm trying to find that man.
What man?
That man that I told you about outside. Guys, he was so fun. And I literally just saw him on Bling Dynasty. I swear to God.
What the fuck is the Bling Dynasty?
It's basically Crazy Rich Asians reality, though. Like, I don't know if you've ever seen it, if anybody's ever seen it, but there is this man that Jamie went on a date with. And I swear to God, I just saw him the other night on the show.
You just saw him?
And I literally saw him when I pulled up.
Yes. Oh, okay. So you pulled up to the studio right before we were recording.
Yeah.
And you saw him.
Yeah, and now I have to find him.
You all over the place.
Now I have to find him.
No, what's up? Okay, so what's his name?
I don't know. Look, I'm an FBI agent. Like, I can
Bitch, you're a
find...
stalker. We don't like those.
There's a fine line.
What's the line?
Anyways, I've been trying to find him on IG. I'm trying to figure out who it is. Yes.
All right, so
I'm going to find him.
Did you find him?
No, not yet.
Okay.
But when I do, you're going to know why I was geeking. I was like, he's so cute.
Okay, so some type of manifestation situation.
Yeah, I don't even know how, but I manifested him.
Because you were thinking about him that hard when you were watching the show? It's crazy. I feel like I've manifested every man that I've ever wanted to like really like fuck with or be with, or even woman at that. Like, I feel like there's not one person that I haven't eventually gotten with. I'm dead.
You capping.
Bro.
You lying.
Okay, so
whispering.
No, I admired from afar for like 2 years, and then before I do it,
of everybody,
you
manifest her. Come on now.
It's just like
okay. So
but listen, that's not the point. The point is like for 2 years, I was like, oh, fine. And then it happened. You know what I mean? Like, but it wasn't what I thought it was gonna be. Obviously.
How did you manifest this person?
I don't know. I just do.
You just kept thinking about it, or what? Okay. So my question to you: what? Regardless of people, whatever, what do you define as manifest?
I feel like it's something that you think often of, you pray on, you really want, you're gonna be grateful for it, no matter which way form that you receive it in. It's like gratitude regardless. But I do feel like I have that just like you did. You had that thought and then you saw him.
I feel like manifestation personally is, say you want this job, you constantly think about it, you're doing the work to get it, your focus is on this job, and eventually becomes reality type of thing. So basically speaking things into reality, like manifesting, that's what manifesting is.
Okay.
To me. So
an event, action, or object that clearly shows or embodies something, especially a theory or an abstract, a symptom or sign of an alignment. I would more agree with that.
I feel like it's a very spiritual type
for sure,
thing.
100%. And when you know what's so crazy? Y'all are gonna trip on this one. I literally accidentally, I didn't even mean to, and this is what I mean by like it doesn't even show up in the right way that you might think it will. I literally manifested this whole podcast because this was like probably like 2 years ago, maybe like a year and a half, 2 years ago. So I have this friend named I have a friend who's a photographer, and I have her on Twitter, and she's actually from my hometown, Hobbs, New Mexico. Shout out to Hobbs. Shout out to New Mexico. She tweeted some shit on Twitter like a year and a half ago talking about starting a podcast. And I was like, oh, that's super dope. Like, I would love to help you with that. I would love to be like involved in that with you just because, you know, she's from my hometown. I think she's dope. She's cool. So I had reached out and I was like, yo, whenever like you're ready or like I can help you, I can get you started, blah, blah, blah. And I made a note in my notes and I called it Jazz Podcast, right? So
you told me about this.
I went in and I literally just put down a bunch of fucking topics. Like I still have everything from prior. I had people that I wanted to interview. I had all type of shit, right? And I didn't even send it to her. I think I just had it there for whenever she was ready type of situation. It never happened. I kind of just left it, you know, like on dead stock. And sooner or later, a year and a half later, I met Jazz, right? This Jazz. And her name was Jazz. And then I met this Jazz. And then I don't even know how the fuck we started talking about it.
At the time, we were both full-time. We were both working together all the fucking time.
Right.
And at work, we would just
crazy
topics. Like, and we always had just good conversation. And so we always talk about like how we're gonna fucking get out of this goddamn job.
We gonna make it out the hood
in the first place. And it turned into like, okay, so what the fuck are we gonna do about it? You know, like what do you like? Just kind of getting to know each other. Mm-hmm. Okay, bitch. So what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do about it? Because the fuck, I mean, we're just talking about it. And then P brought up podcasting, which is so crazy to me because I never thought about podcasting until we talked about it.
Honestly, time. The Dash show had ended. I had gotten control over like the platform and stuff, and I didn't know what to do with it exactly. So at the time, Jazz was also talking about like,
because I was doing YouTube.
Yeah, she was doing YouTube.
I was doing YouTube, and I told her about it.
Literally, it was just timing. And then before you know it, I was like, okay, I'm gonna put down in my notes. I'm gonna put these topics down for us. And then like, I know
it was just an idea at the time. Literally. Like we were just like kind of talking, and we kind of barely knew each other.
But even then, like I literally went through my notes, and I was like, why the fuck does this say Jazz Podcast? Like,
and you said that, and I was like, bro, this is God's sign.
No, literally,
I showed up, and I was the sign. So, bitch, what's up? Bitch, what's up?
Right.
I was like, let's get it started. And I'm definitely somebody who's like, I don't like to talk about shit. I'd rather do it because what the fuck is the point of talking about it?
Yeah.
And I feel like that's what you needed. And it's crazy because you had the space, you had the platform, and we had good chemistry when it comes to like talking about shit. So I just was like, it makes sense now. And it was funny because I was like, I don't know what the fuck I want to do with my life. Like, yeah, I'm into fashion, but like,
what else?
Like, yeah, like I just was like, I want to do more than that. In my head, I was like, yeah, I say I want to do fashion, which is, yeah, it's cool. I love fashion, but like, I just want to get paid for doing cool shit and doing whatever the fuck I want to do. Yeah, like literally just being me. And that's all I could think of. And it was weird because I was making YouTube at the time. And one of my biggest kind of like inspos behind doing it was Emma Chamberlain. And she was like the only person I was subscribed to. I started listening to her podcast, and I never listened to podcasts ever in my entire life until she made one. She would like vlog about it. And I was like, that's it? And all she would do was just talk into the microphone and post it on the podcast. And I was like, that's it. And I was like, and it was, she just has like this personality. And it's like, I feel like I have what it takes. Like I can do this. I'm entertaining.
Sometimes I'll look at people and I'm like, bro, I can do that so much better.
Yeah. And that's just what I kept thinking.
Mean that in a degrading way. Yeah. I don't mean that you're any less than, I just know my worth. That's it. I'm only speaking for myself. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, that's all we can really do for one another is just speak for your goddamn self. But I'm like, damn, I could do that way better. I'm sorry, but I can't. Yeah. And that's why I was like, damn, like when I saw, and I kid y'all not, like it literally said Jazz Podcast, and I had completely forgotten about this shit.
And I literally looked at her and I was like,
yeah, I freaked the fuck out.
This is our sign.
I freaked the fuck out.
You need help with getting to it right now, and I need help actually get like the resources. She had the place, and I was just the person that was like, okay, let's fucking do it. Like, what are we doing?
It just made sense. Let's start now. It just made sense, and that's why I tell y'all, like, even when you pray on something or you ask God for something or the universe or whatever, you might not get it in the form that you thought you was gonna get it in, and that's okay. Receive it. Be there to receive it, love it, accept it, all that. Like, eventually, it's gonna take you to where you need to be. I promise you. Like, that's just what it is.
Be as present as you can because the signs are everywhere. You know, I didn't know shit about podcasts. I always knew that there was a fucking podcast app and never fucking used it. I deleted that shit off my phone. Like, dude, what? It's filling space. Like, that's how, like, absolutely, like, podcasts never crossed my mind. I always thought, like, oh, I need a radio station booth to fucking do this shit. Like, no, like,
bro, you can literally do it in the back of your own home. And shout out to Morgan and Jordan in the building because they are super essential to the team. Morgan does all the production, the photography, the videography. If y'all need, she gonna charge y'all motherfuckers, but hey, come ask for this quote because I promise you it's worth it. Okay, so but
we're
like
just the face, but she
literally,
does all the
background, and that's almost more, if not just as important as the face. You know what I mean? Like, and people don't get that, but when I tell y'all that
the way that this shit just came,
is real,
the way that this shit came about in less than a year, we just did it. We literally just did it.
Yeah. And I've known people before us, you know what's crazy? I've known people before us talking about doing this shit and wanting to do this shit, and they have yet to even film their first episode.
Everything is all talking to you who really do it. I feel like a lot of people don't really think about this. Yeah, you can dream about it, you can talk about it all you want, but what are you doing?
Get your ass up and go do it, bro. Because I promise you the prize, the money, the shit, whatever you searching for is waiting for you. You just gotta go get it. It's right there. And that goes into like like talking about money, and like there's so much money to be made, and not even in a greedy way, more like in a like I want to be financially free and be able to do my own thing. There's so much of that shit to be made, and y'all just have to get up and believe in yourself to go do it. You know what I mean? I think that's where we fall a lot, and it's like not that we're not worthy or anything, but we just like, I don't know if I believe in this enough to go get it, or I don't know if this could really be a thing, or you know what I mean? Like all these TikTokers and blah blah blah.
Fear is a huge thing, especially when you get to be an adult. I was reading this book. I want to say it was The Power of Now. If you've ever read that book, it's by Eckhart Tolle, if I'm not mistaken. Such a fucking good book. But The Power of Now, he was just talking about when we reach a certain age, there's this like darkness called fear. In school, you understand it because you want to be accepted. You want to be like in the in crowd. You want to be with the cool kids. You do and you say stupid things just to be accepted by others. And that's what we call fear. You know, like there's this thing of fear, and we live in it today where it's like, oh, if your parents say, if you don't make this much amount of money, like you're nothing basically. So that's fear. So now you're like, you're working these jobs, you're doing everything. You're going to school to please your parents. You're doing all these things to please others. But like, you know what I'm saying? So fear kills a lot of
dreams and hopes.
Like, yeah. And it's like, to activate manifestation is to really believe in the things that you're saying, and not to just say these things, because the tongue is a very powerful weapon. The tongue is a very fucking powerful weapon, especially when you believe in the shit that you're really saying and you start to live the shit you start to say, and it becomes routine. It becomes habit. Like the tongue is a very powerful weapon, and so is the mind. You know what I'm saying?
So that goes all into manifesting shit. And
I manifested coming to LA. Shit.
Same. Literally from 1 month to the next. 1 month to the next, I was literally in LA, and I had never been in LA prior to that. Like I had never vacationed.
Did you ever think about like moving to LA? Did you ever think?
Yeah, like, you know how far back I thought about it? Since I was like probably like 11, 12.
Really?
Since I was watching on
randomly,
TV.
like randomly,
because I would watch TV. You know what movie I would really watch, and I probably shouldn't have been watching it? White Man Can't Jump.
Oh my God, with Wesley Snipes.
That was my favorite movie in the world, bro. And it was based out of Venice Beach, you know, LA. And then in my head I was
That's
like,
classic.
And in my head I was like, I love it there.
Cool.
Like I want to be there. You know what I mean? So I probably since then I've literally been telling myself like I want to live in the city. I want to live by the beach. I want to do this, and that, and everything categorized was LA. You know what I mean? And it literally just happened from 1 month to the next, like in my adulthood years. You know, that shit was fucking crazy.
It's crazy. Nuts. Yeah, I feel like even me too. I feel like I manifested being here. And what's crazy is like my best friend from Texas, we manifested living together in LA because she's into acting and modeling. She's moving here this fucking weekend, y'all. No, like it's crazy.
How did y'all manifest it prior to you even moving out to LA?
So when I was living in Texas, it started with a boy, because the boy that I was like into and I was talking to, he lives out here. He actually went to school out here. So I was like, oh my God, he lives in LA. And then kind of was triggering a lot of different things. Like LA started coming up. I would look at the screen and there's a fucking movie based
Those
in LA.
Are like, spirit guides,
no,
baby
that's
girl.
What I'm saying. That's why I was like, oh my God, we're meant to be type shit. Like on some gay shit. Like I'm like, oh my God, hopeless romantic type shit, right? I don't know. Like my parents wanted to move to Vegas, right? And Vegas is only 4 hours away from LA. And I was like, oh my God, like that's so like coincidence, whatever. It's just like, okay, like I want to move to Vegas. I just needed to get out of Texas, really. And I wanted to be with my family. I don't have no family in Texas. So I was like, what the fuck am I doing here in Texas? So I moved to Vegas, and then I was going to UNLV. Wasn't doing shit. I don't know what the fuck I was doing at UNLV, but it wasn't fashion. Like and I knew that fashion was what I wanted to do. So I was like, I looked into it more. You would think that like Las Vegas has like a good fashion industry type of thing. No, it fucking sucks.
I wouldn't think that, actually.
But
I would not think that.
No, yeah.
Sorry.
And I was like, LA's only 4 hours away. So I don't know. Everything just started. I met homegirl from Foot Locker who put me on the Fashion Institute, dropped out of UNLV and was like, well, if I don't fucking get into this, I'm just dropping school. Ended up getting into the Fashion Institute here in downtown LA. And I was like, the way that shit just worked out. And when I think about it, it's so crazy. Like I was like, LA just seems so far out of reach. Yeah. Like it just seems so like a fantasy.
And it's crazy because I know both of y'all are like LA is like where I grew up. It's the backyard. You know what I mean? But like
Yeah.
for small town people who are not even nowhere near the West Coast, it's like that's a stretch. Like, how are you gonna make it?
And I'm like, I moved around a lot because I was military, so it was crazy that we even like got brought here. Like none of this shit was by mistake, and it's like when I really think on it, wow, I really manifested this shit. And my best friend, she had always wanted to move to LA because she's in acting, and there's a lot more opportunity out here. She wants to do modeling and stuff. So back in Texas, it was all like, best friend, like we're gonna fucking move in together. We're gonna be in LA. And Sel is really big on like, she's big in spirituality. She's big in manifesting. She's big on all of that. She was like, you need to talk like we're moving there. So she's like, you're my roommate. Like she would talk to me like that. Like we were already roommates. Like we already lived in LA, and sure enough,
shout out to Sel. She about to get us out the hood.
No, literally, Sel is such a huge like, Jasmine, are your chakras aligned? She will literally call me just to be like,
I love that.
Did you meditate?
I
love
that.
You're,
everybody
you're
gotta have
crazy.
a Sel.
You need to fucking sit down right now. Like she's one of those. Like she's a plant mom, like your typical hippie friend, you know?
Love that. Love
you know,
that.
like so it's, when we think about it, it's a fucking blessing. Like it's crazy.
Sure. And you got to be grateful for all the like the little things and the big things, and be grateful for like, and I can't like stress this enough, y'all. Be grateful for the blessings that you get that you feel like you weren't gonna get in the way that you wanted it to. You know what I mean? Like just be grateful for it. Thank God, thank the universe for it, and appreciate and accept all of your forthcoming blessings that are coming this way. You know what I mean? Because there's gonna be a lot more to come.
You gotta practice
You
gratitude.
just gotta be open to receive too.
You gotta practice gratitude. Be like very as present as you can. Because even now, like I said in the last episode about mental health, like be present. Like being present and just regardless of what's happening, how hard shit is. Because shit's gonna be hard, bro.
Always,
shit's gonna be fucking hard. But you have to, sometimes I feel like that's what helps me too, is like looking back at like, bro, this is exactly what I asked for. I knew shit wasn't gonna be easy. This shit wasn't gonna be like a fantasy, you know what I'm saying? Or a fairy tale. Like this shit is gonna take grind. It's gonna take work.
And that's for all of us, you know. It's for every single body. And I really appreciate just like the moments that I have with people that humble me, and that's
people
all,
who
that's
even
all I
got
can really
me
have
here,
for.
you know, people who are in my life to this day, and people who are not in my life. Like this shit is crazy. This life is crazy, bro. A lot of things seem out of reach, and they're not.
No, they're fucking right there. You just gotta go get it. That's what I be trying to tell people. So if y'all have any goals or dreams that you feel like are out of reach, but you know that you can get them, let us know in the comments. Hit us up with those and let us know how the steps that you're taking to reach those. I would love to hear about them, honestly.
You gotta really want it. You gotta really believe in that shit,
and that you can get it.
Yeah,
and you gonna get it.
Focus
I promise you.
Put
you
your
gonna
focus
get it.
on. Thank y'all with a purpose.
Purpose. That's what it is.
Purpose.
Purpose.
Do shit with a fucking purpose.
There you go. Thank y'all for tapping in. Y'all kicking it with P&J. I appreciate y'all for tapping in. I'm P.
I'm Jay. Thank you guys. Peace, love, happiness from your neighborhood hope dealers.
Hope dealers.